Shameful, humiliating. UNDP took Nigeria's governors to Rwanda for training. Ex-Foreign Affairs Minister Bolaji Akinyemi. So Nigerian governors have come under fire for attending a leadership retreat in Kigali, the capital of Rwanda. A former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, on Tuesday described the governor's decision to travel to the East African country for the program as shameful and a humiliation for Nigeria. The Whistler reported that the 3-day retreat organized by the United Nations Development Program for the Nigerian Governors Forum has held from August 24 to August 27. The UNDP said the retreat was in line with its commitment towards raising the level of governance in Africa and other parts of the world. The UN agency also said the retreat would provide a transformative platform for the governors to collectively reflect, learn, and exchange insights on effective leadership and complex challenges. But Akinyemi, while speaking on Arise television on Tuesday, faulted the decision of the governors and the UNDP to stage the retreat in Rwanda. Akinyemi, also a former Director General of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, said the retreat should have been organized within the country by relevant Nigerian institutions. They always look for a way to get money now. They've gotten a lot of extra codes for that trip. And then, meanwhile, Nigeria is crying there's no money, but these ones would have been paid handsomely for making that trip. It's very bad. And he continues saying, when you think things cannot get worse, then they do get worse. I can't believe we will fall into the pit of shame by 19 of our governors going to Kigali, Rwanda to learn how to govern. Our governors have no business, the UNDP has no business taking our governors there. In any case, the UNDP has no business putting on a training program for our governors. Exactly. It's the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, not theirs. We have several training institutions. The National War College is there. The Nigerian Defense College is there. These are Nigerian institutions that could put on training programs or retreat programs for our governors. They didn't need to humiliate us by going to Rwanda. Can you imagine? Questioning the reasons behind the decision to stage the retreat in Rwanda, Akinyemi noted that the East African country was not a model for democracy. What is the UNDP up to? Are they sending a signal to Africa that they prefer development to democracy? Is that the message they are sending to Africa? And is that the message that our governors are going to Rwanda to embrace? Kigali of all places? Yes, I do admit and I concede that President of Rwanda inherited a terrible situation when he came to power, and he came up with his own system of dealing with that terrible situation. Okay, and what did he come up with? Not allowing human rights, not allowing civil rights, one man rule, one man narrative, and it seems to be working in Rwanda. But a word of caution here. We saw the one man rule in a lot of Francophone African countries, and when the strong man died, they descended into civil war. I think the answer is still out there about whether it is going to be a successful experiment in Rwanda. The retired diplomat expressed concern that the Nigerian politicians and the public office holders have developed the habit of holding meetings important outside the country. He noted that the habit has now resulted in the decision to hold a leadership retreat for governors in Rwanda. Maybe we should have foreseen this when during the campaign, our politicians, some of whom are now in office, kept going to London, going to Paris, having meetings, there about how they will reconfigure development and progress and reconciliation in Nigeria. Some of us spoke out loudly. We called them out. We criticized them. It made no difference. They still continued. He further observed that things were different in the past as Nigerians' founding fathers never traveled out of the country for campaigns, unlike what was witnessed before the 2023 general election. I am of the age when I remember the Chief Awolowo, Sadana, Balewa, Azikiwe. Once we became independent, they never went to Paris or London or the United States for their campaigns. They never did. Okay? So during the Second Republic, Shagari, Awolowo, Aminu Kano, they never left the country as part of the campaign. But now we have a crop of politicians. We criticize the old school, but the old school seems to have more values, more patriotism, and more integrity than this present lot. When I was a minister, it was a battle to stop people from even attending embassy parties, because at that time you would find ministers and judges of the Supreme Court attending receptions not even given by the ambassador, but at times given by attaches. So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will send out notes upon notes, and IBB, ex-military head of state, Ibrahim Babangida, whom I served under, will send out cautionary notices at cabinet meetings about not demeaning Nigeria by flocking to these embassy parties. So this man is Bolaji Akinyemi, okay, is blasting Nigerian politicians for going abroad for campaign. He's blasting Nigerian governors for going to study governance in Rwanda of all places and called it a let. But these people are not ashamed now. They don't have shame in their head. That is it. They really don't have shame in their head. Okay, someone is saying, nothing shameful or humiliating there. It was only a venue. It could have been held anywhere else. I see you. Who told you it was only a venue? And why couldn't they have that venue here in Nigeria, even in Abuja? Why have International Conference Center in Abuja? Why didn't they use it? Why are you learning about your system from another country in another country? Yeah? Look at this old man. Do you think they went to Kigali to learn anything? In fact, they are there for their extra code and cheaper cost of living than Europe, Asia, or USA. Besides, what is wrong with patronizing of black African countries by blacks? Your slavery mentality is more shameful than the governors accepting to do training in Africa. Can you imagine? May Allah extend life, your life, Professor. If the prominent individuals of Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, okay, pass on, this country will finish. Our governors today are amongst children that cause us shame, reducing a great country like Nigeria into nothing. They value any stupid foreign country, even at our backyard, for intent and purposes. So don't you know their motive is finding available avenue to steal whether invited or not? And they are telling us that the worst civilian government is better than the best military government. Another story for the gods. Something will happen very soon. Abi, please stop advertising your ignorance here. It is a United Nations program paid for and sponsored by the United Nations, and Rwanda was only a venue. Worst case damning scenarios. Next will be in Libya. We have really lost it. Thanks for the likely caution from the Reverend Professor. So that is what is happening here. So what going to study governance in Rwanda, and again, what is UNDP trying to achieve in organizing that training? Because it's a way of brainwashing our people on their own system of government rather than our own system of government. What worked for them may not really work for us. What are they teaching us about governance? That is it. We just need to look inwards. We're educated enough to look inwards and do the right thing, and we'll move on. Thank you for listening. Let's have a comment.